Welcome, everybody, to All About Articulation, where we do a deeper dive into the articulation of some of your favorite action figures while glossing over things like sculpt, paint apps, character history, accessories, because I suck at that. Okay? I suck at that. And there are already so many great reviewers on YouTube who do that already, so I don't want to waste your time. Today, we are reviewing the Marvel Legends Walmart exclusive single card backed new hyper articulated, or we'll find out, Venom figure. If you guys want to jump straight to the articulation, there's a timestamp down in the description below. But first, I'm going to give you a little bit of a spiel of my thoughts and feelings on this bad boy. This was a long-awaited figure for me. Even though it was announced pretty recently and released all within a relative short period of time, it's one that many collectors wanted, myself included. Venom is one of my most, if not the most, beloved villains. Heck, I don't even put him strictly in the villains category. He's one of my favorite characters, period. End of sentence. End of story. From his, horror influence design by McFarlane to his origin and everything else, I don't even mind his more recent turn from villain into a more anti-hero. The symbiote to me was always kind of like the xenomorph of the Marvel universe, and the parallels were always pretty obvious. So anyway, let's get to this figure. All right, this review is kind of a two reviews in one. The stock out of the box untouched figure and the modded version. I did a little bit of modding involved. So here is the stock version out of the box, untouched. I put the big sort of tongue head on that one just to differentiate between modded and unmodded. So this is stock, this is modded, okay? And yes, I bought two figures because, I knew that Hasbro Marvel Legends was gonna bleep it up. So I anticipated some tweaking that I was gonna have to do ahead of time. And I'll cover everything I did here in this video. And spoiler, it's really not much. It's very, very, very easy modifications that I recommend everyone do and can do to make this figure amazing. So, out of the box, okay, I'll put Mr. Modded in the back, so he's hiding. He's kind of spying on the action. And this is out of the box stock, okay? So, out of the box, I would say this figure, from an articulation standpoint, is like a 6 or a 7 out of 10. The evolution of this body started from the Omega Red figure, and they used it again on the animated Venom figure here, which is a single-carded figure that came solo, and then again in the Amazon 3-pack without all the cartoon cell shading. And now they release it, I guess, a second or third time on the retro Spidey body mold. Basically, the only differentiation between this and this is the fact that they upgraded the torso articulation. But there's a couple of other tweaks also. Like they downgraded the articulation of the hips, but we'll get into that in the articulation part. Anyway, so the $1 million question is this: is this the definitive 1/12 scale Venom figure? And the answer is yes, if you make a small modification. And that small modification is this. Compared to the retro Spidey, and we'll just use black suit symbiote Spidey as the stand-in for the retro Spidey. Compared to the neck. You see, the head articulation is both on this ball joint. Can you see that there? Where's the camera? There it is. All right, they use the ball joint here. But on the retro Spidey, you get that fallen action figure on the floor. On the retro Spidey, you get that notch. And that notch there is all important. There you go. They failed to add that notch here on the Venom figure. So, out of the box, Venom can only look up this far. You can look that far down, that far up. Like literally, that's it. I'm pushing the head with my finger up as far as it goes. It cannot go any further than that. So to get the articulation, you see what I mean. On the right, so let's go back to, now here's the modded version. And when I modded it, he can look up that far up now. So it's a big difference. It's a huge difference, all right? So what did I do? I only did two things. Number one, I created that notch myself, as you can see there. So I'll pop off this head, and I create that little notch there. So his neck now has the notch just like Spider-Man. You see that? There's a notch there on Spider-Man, and there's a notch there on Venom. What I did was, just to show you real quick, if you look very, very carefully, it's very hard to see, it's very faint, but there's musculature on the neck that goes up from the traps all the way up to the base of the neck. If you could kind of see it right there, let me use my pointer, right there, you can see it. On camera, you might not be able to see it too well, but in person, you'll definitely be able to see it. So if you have the figure, kind of pause this video and you'll match up the point where I began my shaving. So I just took a white pen and I just basically drew a U, and the U just stopped right at that, where that muscle starts. So there it is, if you can see that there. And then I took a Dremel, and ladies and gentlemen, if you are in any way, shape, or form even considering collecting figures in the future, and you want to just I'm not talking about going hardcore modding and customizing, but just little touches here and there, get yourself a Dremel. You could buy them for like $20 on Amazon. It's a life changer in terms of collecting and modifications, and definitely for articulation. If you're an articulation junkie like me, get yourself a nice Dremel, and I'll link to it in the description below, the one I bought. Absolute game changer. So this took maybe 30 seconds to do. Dremel in a little U, so now it got that peg can extend back much further. And then, so that's step number one. Step number two is that I took the Venom head, and I'll compare it to this one here. I just basically shaved off a little bit of the base. So this is unmodded. This is stock. So I just shaved off a little bit there. Now, how much did I shave off? Well, glad you asked. So you see there's the hole inside here, right? There. So I basically just shaved this lip down until it was flush and flat with that hole. And you'll see that here. You see that? So there's the hole. And I just shaved the base of his skull down, maybe, I want to say 2 millimeters, literally 2 millimeters down. So now it's flat here. See that? It's flat. As opposed to the unmodded head, there's a bit of a lip. So you basically just want to shave off that lip. Slowly shave it off around that. And now, with the modded figure, with modded base and modded head, bad boy can look up that much. Look at that. This is what Hasbro should have done to begin with. Because I've done nothing else. I've done nothing else with the figure at all whatsoever. And now he could just do that. He could do this. I mean, it's become a completely different figure. So what was once I said, what did I say? About 6 to 7 out of 10. He's a 9.5, maybe 10 out of 10. I don't know. I can give him a 10. It's a 9.5 out of 10. 9.5. Anybody with this figure and you're into articulation like me, or you just want to pose Venom the way his character should be posing, get yourself a Dremel. Link in the description below. I don't make any money off of Amazon. This is not an affiliate link, so whatever. Buy it, don't buy it, I don't care. But I recommend you get it, and now he can do this. And this is what he can do. As opposed to the stock figure. This is stock. No shaving whatsoever. This is the same. Let me imitate that pose. This is what we're dealing with. It's completely different. It's a completely different figure. I got him out of the box. I remember I got him out of the box and he was basically like this, and I'm just like, ugh. Marvel Legends, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? And I didn't give up because I love Venom so much. I didn't want to just return him or sell him. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna try my hand at shaving some stuff off. And I did, and now he's perfect. He's perfect. He's perfect. So now he is the definitive 1/12 scale. Certainly the 1/12 scale Marvel, the definitive Marvel Legends Venom. But I think even better than the Mafex one I got at 1/12 scale. All right, so yeah, you want to jump into the articulation? Let's do it. So let's just first do a quick measurement. He's about, what is that, 7 1/4 to the tippy top of his head. 7 1/4 inches. He scales, this is how he scales next to the old Venom from the, oh god, is this the Vanishing? I forgot what wave he's from. But he's on the Hyperion body mold. This is him on the Omega Red body mold. The Venom from the Omega Red body mold. Exactly the same size, build, and everything. And this is him next to Retro Spider-Man. Okay. There you go. Let's take out these Venoms, give you a clear image of what he looks like. And now, let's take these two guys out. This is him next to the original Space Venom Bath, but I just treat him as a Venom. So I just put the extra head from him, I just put him on here. And this is him next to the, this is the, technically this is the not MCU. It's the cinematic Venom from the movie Venom, the original release. They've released this figure now close to like 3 times, I think. This is the original one. I acetoned off a lot of that, the white lines, and I just slapped on a white spider decal that I bought off, I think, Etsy or eBay or whatever it was. So I made my own kind of comic book accurate Venom. But now I don't need him anymore. But he's still good. I still love this Venom. He's still very, very well articulated. Except for the feet. Yeah, can't do anything about the feet, you know? But anywho, so I'm going to move all these guys back. Let me pause the video real quick. And we're back. Okay, articulation. Here we go. So with the mod, right, he can look this far up. Fantastic. And he can look this far down. There's there's gappage now, but you know what? I'd rather have gappage and articulation than no gappage and no articulation. So that's that. I need you to stand straight. Thank you very much. Okay, that's the neck. Let's see him hit a T pose. He can get pretty far high. That's a nice T pose. Okay. He's got butterfly joints, true butterfly joints. He can go that far back, very far back. He can go very far forward with his elbows straight. He can't quite touch, well, he can touch his fingertips. So he can, if you bend his hands in, he could touch, and he could interlock his fingers. So that's really good. He's got a great, for this sized figure. He's got great butterfly joints. Okay. He's got a bicep swivel, goes all the way around. We know how that goes. Double jointed elbows that go about 45 degrees because he's so muscular, but his hands are big enough that he can scratch his own shoulder. So that's something. If his hands can stay on, that is. As you can also see, not pinless, so he's pinned. But I haven't had any issues with this body mold on Omega Red, on this cartoon Venom. Any figures on this mold have so far all been pinned, and I haven't had any warped knees or warped elbows yet. Knock on wood, right? Knock on wood. He's got rotation at the wrist, goes all the way around. We know how that goes. Can bend forward, can bend up. It's very, very typical of this figure. Now to do the abdomen. All right, that's the big upgrade from this bad boy. Is it enough of an improvement? And so just isolating the top ball joint, he can bend that far forward. You can extend his back that far. Not too much extension on the top ball joint, but it's okay. Now let's try the hinge in the bottom, the ab crunch. He can bend, isolating just for the lower crunch, he can bend that far down. And he can extend that far back. Okay. Now with both upper and lower, he can bend that far down. And that's fantastic. That's fantastic. That's really good. That's really good. I mean, here's Venom on the old body mold, and he can get that far down. And now and I think this new Venom, I mean, I don't have like any sort of measuring device. I can't give you actual quantitative numbers, but I think the new Venom can crunch further down than this old Venom. So again, yay, win for Venom fans. Okay. He's got no drop downs, unfortunately, but this body mold never had it, so it would have been nice if they added drop down hips. And I say that because he can only get this far in terms of his split. Meanwhile, and on the other hand, on this Venom, he can get a little bit further down. You see that? I mean, if you look at, see their legs? You can see their legs by how far each one goes. He can't get that far down. He can. So they added limitations. I don't know what they did exactly. I think it's a matter of maybe, because it's the same sculpt. It should be. Oh, no, I see what it is. Yeah. So this is a new piece, obviously, because they have to implement that new torso articulation. So the sculpt here around the let's call that the Speedo. This is a new piece here. Let me get him out there. This is all new. This is all new, right? Here, this piece here. So this here does not give you as much clearance as the old Speedo piece here. This gives you way more clearance. The cut, I can even see it with my eye. I don't know if it shows up on camera, but this goes way deeper. That's why he could split further down. The new Venom cannot. Okay? He can kick it this far up, though. That's really nice. And he can kick that far back. Not much at all, but it's okay. I don't need him kicking back. But it's better than nothing. It's just a little bit, and that's all you need. He's got upper thigh swivel that goes all the way around. We know how that works. Double jointed knees that goes that far back. Not quite kick his own butt, but it's awfully close. He has no boot boot swivel. This is why I give him a 9.5. If he had boot swivel, this be a 10. This be a 10. Now, boot swivel, some people can take it or leave it. I can take it or leave it sometimes, but in posing him, I realize just how limited he is in his posing by lack of boot swivel. For example, like if I want him to stand like this, all right, he's gonna tip over a lot. Like I can't make him stand. But if that boot swivel, like this guy, he can't stand. Too many action figures. Okay. If he had boot swivel, then I could rotate this foot internally and then prop him up and make him stand better. But he's going to fall a lot, as opposed to say, yeah, I'll do it with Spidey. In the exact same pose, he might tip over, but if I rotate that boot in, now his feet are standing forward. Can you see that right there? So now he has more of a base and more balance, as opposed to this guy at the back. He can't do that, so he tends to tip over a lot more. I mean, he's standing pretty good now, but yeah, that's where that boot swivel comes in, and it would have helped a lot. He's got, very typical Marvel Legends ankle articulation. Point his toes all the way down like so. Point his toes up like so. There's your Nike check. Very, very good. Ankle pivot goes all the way down, but he can't do a split because, like I mentioned before, the hip is hindered by that sculpt. So it's not like he really even needs to go that far down because he can't do a split anyway. Not that you need your Venom to do a split, but I'm just saying, you know what I mean? All right, this video has gone on for over 20 minutes. You've listened to me ramble and long enough. Do I recommend it? Absolutely. Get this figure, tweak him, mod him. He's going to be, I think, once you do the mod, and it takes seconds. It's so easy. It's so simple. Once you do the mod, I'm telling you, this guy becomes a 9.5. Okay, out of the box, he is maybe, at best, a 7. Now, 9.5er. Yeah, baby. Okay, thanks for watching. You don't have to like or subscribe. You know what to do. Just, if you have any questions, leave a comment below. I don't care. Or, call me an idiot. It's okay. All right, guys. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.